So now, if we're going to make those recipes,
Yes.
we have to have the equipment.
That's right.
You know, and there's nothing like a chopper, and a cute little chopper. You don't need one of those big all the time. And this one is ideal. Look how beautiful. All you do is you put your things in there, and a little cover.
Yes.
And the motor goes on top, and garlic.
It's that simple. You can hear the power of it, too.
And look how nice it chops it up.
Right.
And you can store it also in this, because you can take this off like that.
Okay.
And you can, we have a lid.
Oh, fantastic.
And you can store it. Well, let's take this out.
And that's that stainless blade that you've got.
Yes. And here it is. You put it in the refrigerator and you go to it when you need it.
You make it simple. You've got
Parsley.
two choices, either the limone, right, or the poppy perry. Those are going to be your two choices.
Those are there. Limone.
Limone.
Grazie. Parsley. You know, parsley, I love my parsley, and it's very healthy for you. The same thing. Keep on chopping it, and you can save it in here. And you know what you can see a lot in my books, and us Italians use a pesto, pestata.
Yeah.
Celery, carrots, and onions at the basis of a lot of the meat sauces.
Okay.
You chop it in here.
Look at how fast this is.
You see? And you can do it as fine as you like it, or you can leave it even a little bit chunky.
Okay.
And you can save it just like that in the refrigerator.
Love that.
All set.
Love
Then you
that.
can do all your baking also. This is practical. You know, these little choppers are godsend.
Because you just plug, it's one plug, and look at how fast.
And again, these are the walnuts.
Yes.
Look at this. And again, you can, you know, as thin or as... And I'm going to use this, the same one.
Okay.
And I'm going to make some of the croutons. Here we have. You can chop some croutons. Let me just put this in, so this way.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's all you do. You just pop in the blade and then put in your food.
That's it.
Press a button.
And I'm going to put a little oregano, so I'm going to flavor my croutons just a little bit like that. And you know what? I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil, and then you can just toast them a little bit in the oven.
Okay.
And you're done.
This is simple. We can
Look at
totally
this.
do this.
Can you do this?
Yes.
Look at it.
And you just put the top on, and then you press the button.
Exactly. And you know, you can make it as thick as you want, as slow. You take it out, you put it on a tray in the oven, and voila. You have it, you see, it's flavored, it's toasted, Caesar salad, any salad.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Perfect.
Okay, and easy.
And just so you know, again, all you're choosing is, do you want the poppy perry, which is the red, or do you want the limone, which is the blue and yellow? And you're getting these, you don't need to program anything. These are not digital. There's one plug, and then you press the big button on top, and it's as simple as that. I do invite you to get it, because these are our helpers in the kitchen, right?
Absolutely. You see, I'm going through every course. This is a salad dressing, so I'm going through the toasted bread to the pestata, to the cheese. I'm going through you can use it for every course.
Okay.
The chopper, look at this. And you know what I have in there?
What's that?
You are busy talking, which is good. But I put some egg yolk, white wine vinegar, olive oil, mustard, a little salt and pepper, and you have this wonderful dressing all ready. And you can make a big bowl and save some, because it saves, but otherwise it's just like that, and you're just ready to go. Look at this.
Oh, wow.
Look at this.
With the same chopper that you were able to chop vegetables and everything else in.
Absolutely. And you can, some of those toasters, the bread you can throw in, and you got yourself a delicious salad. And if you have some extra, you save it.
Yes.
It stays in the refrigerator well for you.
This is fantastic.
And then, of course, the ultimate is the pesto. You know, us Italians are pesto. We love our pesto. Do you like pesto?
I do. I do.
Yeah. There you go. So it keeps on going. And for the pesto, it depends on how much garlic you like. I like my garlic.
Okay.
basil, nice fresh basil. I always put, some people use just basil, but I like a little bit of parsley in there, just to sort of freshen it up and change the flavoring, and some toasted pine nuts.
Okay.
Okay, and of course some olive oil.
Yes. Look at that. And that's it.
That's it, and you have your pesto.
Oh my gosh, that was what we can totally do this.
Eh?
We can.
Let's see, I'm looking. Maybe I can use a little bit more of, and you can add it just this way.
Oh, yeah.
You see?
Yes.
And you keep on going.
And then you just make it to your liking, to however.
Yeah.
Yes.
You make a pasta, and you see, if you put more, it kind of is more effective with the pesto. But the pesto could be very fine, or you can make it choppy also. Like chunky, depends on what you like.
Okay.
Okay.
And do you see, again, that's the power of the chopper, 300 watts of power. And you've got multiple blades and the stainless steel blades that are going around. And look at that. From basil, parsley, you had the pine nuts, and the olive oil.
And the garlic.
And the garlic, of course. We've got to have that. Oh, it smells so good, too.
It smells good, huh?
There's nothing better than fresh.
Yeah, I like mine a little chunky, sort of the nuts, I like to taste them in there.
Yes.
But otherwise, you could put more and more and really make a whole bowl. And then if you make a whole bowl, what you do to save it, you put it in a container, in a glass container, tap it with oil so it doesn't oxidize, it doesn't turn black.
Okay.
And you can use it in a few days.
See, this is we're getting all of the inside information, right? I know a lot of you are loving these. A lot of you are loving. We've got the poppy perry, which is the red, and then we have the limone, which is the yellow. And I know a lot of you are loving this. And remember, if you're getting this chopper, there are lots of beautiful other kitchen accessories that you can add on to that, and you can have the entire look. And because we eat with our eyes first, right?
It's, us Italians, we love food, we love flavor, we love aroma, but we love looks.
Yes.
We want it to be beautiful.
Absolutely.
We love music. So one of my favorite poppies, I love poppies, and I love lemons.
Yes.
And that's the choice. That reflects Lidia in your kitchen.
Absolutely, and you're gonna see that as a thread throughout everything that you see today. So if you're picking up the chopper, and I know a lot of you are, enjoy the sale price, under $20 to get it home. You're gonna get the glass bowl, you'll get the lid, you'll get, of course, your motor with 300 watts of power, and then you'll also get your storage lid as well that comes along with this silicone seal so that everything stays on, and you get the scraper. So you've got it all. Just decide which color you want, and we'd love to send it on out to you. And these you mentioned from the cookbook, that you need not only the right ingredients, but you need the right tools to work.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, any profession, you need your tools. And in the kitchen, there's those basic tools.
Yes.
And I remember my grandmother used to chop with the chopper and the knife.
Yeah.
But, today is a little bit more commodity. What can I tell you?
We've got a little bit of an easier time to go.
Yes, yes.
And we're going to show you some more. Right here we made the pesto. And if you're looking at that saying, okay, that I would just pick it up just for that.
So if you make your pesto, bread, you can chop this is cheese. So you can grate your cheese.
Yes.
Let's see.
And that looks like Parmesan.
Yes, Parmesan cheese.
And then when you can do it at home, then you don't have to buy it pre-grated. And you can chop it to your consistency.
And it's important that when you chop it fresh like that, it brings so much of the flavor, because as you grate cheese, you can smell it, and that escapes. And what you want really. So you see here you have and you can grate it as thin as you want, as chunky or thicker.
Yes.
And A little more.
A little bit more, yeah.
A little more.
I like that. You can see what you're getting. You can see where you want it to be. And then when you're done, you just stop pressing the button.
That's
it's as simple as that. I know a lot of you are loving this and picking this up. Enjoy the FlexPay. 856-452 is the item number to get this home. And you can go for yours, again, in either your limone or the poppy perry. I do want to share with you what we've got coming up. Because I know a lot of you are kind of like, you know, filling up your shopping cart on hsn.com. But this is from Lydia's Kitchen. This is the stoneware pasta bowl. I'm showing you this early because we don't have a lot of them. As a matter of fact, we're down to our last about 1,000. And then that's it. And that bowl is large enough to hold, well, this is it. You can see how much salad we've got in here. We had our pasta in there a little bit earlier when we started the show. This is your bowl. This is this beautiful platter. I'm gonna take this straight to the table. And again, we eat with our eyes and you can see how beautiful that is. It's coming up, but it is limited, okay? Let me just remind you, if you tuned in a little bit late, for today only, you can get $10 off when you spend $50 and your HSN card with code 180198. And you can get $25 off when you spend $100 with code 189933. And you can do that as many times as you want throughout the day. Let's talk meatballs and that perfect portion.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly. So these wonderful things, I mean, you know, yes, one would the scoopers, one would say, okay, ice cream.
Yes.
But there's so many more uses because you have an actual measuring here.
Right.
So let's say you want to do have a meatball mix here.
Okay.
And you know, and you don't even have to get your hands in there.
Ooh.
You know, so just kind of fill it up well.
And that's perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I like, and you're gonna get the two teaspoon scoop and the 4 teaspoon scoop. You're getting both of them today. And so if you want bigger meatballs or smaller, you can decide on that. Ooh, look at that one.
That's the right size meatballs, and then you can bake them in the oven or whatever, and they tighten up.
Okay.
But if you want the smaller size meatball, you have your sauce going.
Yes.
And
Ooh, that smells good. Just
you like this?
yes. Wow.
Okay. And we can take the smaller one. I want a smaller one if I'm going to throw it right in there.
Okay.
What if you have a soup? You know, us Italian likes a wedding soup.
Yes.
With meatballs.
Yes.
So, okay.
So in a soup, we would probably use the smaller, just so that it's an easier bite.
And you dunk it just right in there. Just like that. Make sure that, you know, you sort of press it in good so that it's compact.
Okay.
And right into the sauce. And it's sort of, you leave it there for a little bit, you let it cook, sort of tighten up.
Okay.
And then you're done.
That's easy. We can totally do that.
Let me show you how. This is, I'm going to do it very gentle because it's, look at them.
Yes.
You see?
And they'll cook right in.
They'll cook right in there. There you go.
Do you see that? That perfect scoop?
And you can put all of them. All of the meatballs that you intended, you put them slowly in there. Right. Give it a light mix now and then as you're entering it. But they're all the same size.
Right, and that means they cook evenly,
yes,
right? When they're all the same size?
Yes. Okay.
And that's the 2 tablespoon. Remember, you're getting 2 of them. You're gonna get a 2 tablespoon measure and a 4 tablespoon measure, and you decide, do you want the poppy perry or do you want the limone, okay? Those are your only choices. You showed us meatballs, but we're gonna use these for pretty much everything.
Muffins?
Yes.
Baking?
Yes, please.
You know, they're right. You could wet it just a little bit so that it slides easy. Okay. And this way, you're sure that you get your whole measure and right in the middle there.
Okay. And it's that simple.
You see?
Yes. I even love the thumb press that you put on. It's a nice size of it too.
Yeah. It's sort of, you don't have to fight for it, look for it.
Yes.
It fits right in and gives you that support where you can.
Oh, that's that perfect release. Do you see how it just falls in? And then you've got a perfect portion every time. So you're not gonna have some muffins that are overfilled in this case and some that are underfilled.
And sometimes you get them all over, you know.
Yes.
And then that sort of overbakes or whatever. But this, you get them right in the middle. Once in a while, you sort of lubricate it with a little bit of warm water just to get things in.
Okay. And it's just that simple.
Isn't it?
And remember, you're getting too, that this is the 4 tablespoon scoop that you see right here. You're also gonna get a 2 tablespoon. So you can decide, and I love that these are the kinds of things, because I bake with my daughter, she's 7.
You do?
And this is something easy enough to really kind of help.
She can do that.
Help in the kitchen,
Yeah. And you have the smaller one if you want smaller ones. If you have, you know, a lot of kids coming and one muffin or one cupcake is too big.
Right.
You make them a little smaller.
This is perfect.
All right.
See how perfect, and do you see how fast this goes too?
Yeah.
When you are not, again, not fighting with the tools, you have the right tools for the function.
Exactly. We do the same for cookies. Now, cookies, I'll use the smaller one.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm gonna use a little bit. And this is a ricotta. I gave you one before. You
Yes,
tasted it.
delicious.
Yeah.
That's right. They're
But
so
the
good.
cookies, the same thing. You know, you sort of get it right.
Yes. And right there. And so now when I bake it, they'll all bake the exact same size
Exactly.
and at the same rate. Do you see that?